crafting journey here. Good morning. It's Monday. Yep. You know what that means. The weekend's over and it's time to go to work. Thank God I work from home on Mondays and Tuesdays. So, where are we in the grand scheme of things? Almost halfway done. Yep. So I'm just filling in some holes here today while we chit chat. Then I'm going to open up some more of the painting. But look, I think her eyes are turning out gorgeous. I love the bow that's going on there. Very pretty. I especially like the bling where I did the handle to the teacups and the hearts. I added that in. Now, this is like a hot air balloon here, but it almost makes it look like a turkey. That's what I thought anyway. And then I did bling these butterflies up here as well. Oh my goodness. And Tina Burney was in my show yesterday. Tina Burney, Tima, we affectionately call her. She has DP with sparklers.com where you can just, if you just go to the site and look, you'll be like, your jaw will drop with all the gorgeous different sparklers that you can add to your paintings. And she's got a lot of other stuff too, you know, this and that, pens and cover minders. Oh, she doesn't call them cover minders, she calls them something else. I'm looking for, oh, where is it? Of course, you know, you can never find the drill that you're looking for. Here it is. I found it. I'm going to use a purple tray today. Purple. I'm going to turn the light pad off because it really washes everything out here. We don't need the light pad. Okay, it's better without the light pad, right? Because it's just the lighting. I just haven't figured it out yet. I have a new camera. It has a wider lens, so I can get more into the shot. Like, see, I put the Cricut Maker back here behind me, as you can see, right there. And on the shelf below it is the Cricut Maker stuff, and then the shelf underneath that is my stickers and stuff for my planners. Then over here you can see all of my, these are all my Diamond Art Club paintings. I've got some TSAs in there. You can see the purple tube that I got from Craftably is over there. This is a gnome that I got for Mother's Day, I think. I got to paint the gnome. And this is a recognition that I got from the Air Force for being an Air Force mom. Isn't that cool? And then of course we got all the yarn. I've got my Inkari alpaca there. He's so cute. And miscellaneous yarn in the Santa sack that you see there. But you get to see a lot more of the craft room this way, which is kind of cool. Anyway, locally heavy rain may lead to more flooding early this week. Find out. Oh, more. No thanks. I will just stay home. So today I have to give the insurance adjuster the name of a body shop so they can bring me a rental car, and then they're going to take the car over to the body shop. Oh no, I got to take the car to the body shop, then they'll bring the rental car, Enterprise, to the body shop. I don't want to. My back is so sore, honest to God. It is. You know, and I can't even like pinpoint. It's in my neck, it's in my low back, it's in my mid back. Yeah, it's just, you know, it's just sore. You know, someone told me it takes about a week to kind of start feeling better from that. And the week is almost up. Yay! Because, man, I got to get to stepping. I do. Got to get to stepping. So I'm adding, I'm working on Alice's hair here. She does have some bling scattered throughout her hair. Some of the ABs that came with the kit is in her hair. Like right here. I don't know if you guys can see that. Maybe if I hold it up. Yeah, I have to wait till I'm finished, I guess. This is a cute little painting, it really is. Now, I don't know how many of you bought from Diamond Art Club this weekend. I know they also had a bunch of their older paintings back in stock. So you might want to check that out this morning if you've been waiting on a painting maybe to come back in stock. Take a look. I stuck with my no buy. I did not purchase anything crafting related. I have not for an entire week. Tonight the 7 days will be over. um, there is some stuff I want to order. Well, I have to go buy some stuff to make my market bag. This clear heavy plastic that I need to put in the bottom of the market bag. Although I just don't feel like going shopping. My back hurts. Maybe I could find it on Amazon. I'm so lazy. And there's a company that would like me to review their products. So I may, I don't want them to give me the product because I want to do an honest review. So I'm going to purchase something from their store and give them an honest review. Now they may or may not like it. I don't know. But it is a company that does have a bit of stolen artwork on their site. But I'm going to pick out, I'm not going to pick out a diamond painting. I'm going to pick out one of their other products. Yeah. They have, the company that I'm talking about, they have these really cute diamond painting wreaths that I want to see how those come out. It's always fun to try different things to diamond paint. Yep, it is. Oh. I took Motrin this morning. It hasn't kicked in yet. So, you know, we had that horrible condo collapse down in South Florida the other day, and there's just finding bodies now. You know, they took one person out of the rubble the first night, and no one else has come out alive since then. And I just feel my heart goes out to those people. It really does. So, you know, just a moment of silence for them. Okay, let's talk about what national day it is. Today is Alaska Day. So I don't know a whole lot about Alaska except that A.K. Rose, that's where she lives, in Alaska. That's why the A.K. for Alaska. So, you know, I would love to get up there sometime and just visit and see if it's a place that I would enjoy living. You know, apparently the men are very abundant. You know, and I wouldn't mind dating like a big Paul Bunyan. Oh, that's way off the topic, isn't it? Okay, let's talk about. I did not realize that, first of all, it was the 49th state to enter the Union of the United States. And it was populated by several Indian tribes, the Inuit. I'm going to mispronounce every single one of these, so please forgive me if you're descended from any of those. Inuit, Yupik, and Tlingit. I don't know how you pronounce that. Tlingit. And others, along with Russian and European settlers. That's, you know, they came to that country way before we came to America. And they survived on fish, beaver, and whale fats, interestingly enough. And I had no idea that it was the largest state in the union. I always thought Texas or California was the largest. And they may be population wise, but land mass wise, Alaska is the largest state. Who knew, right? So, oh, I still have a drill. I hate when that happens. The drill won't come off the pin, and I'm trying to pick up another one. My goodness, Rebecca. What else do we know about Alaska? The land of the midnight sun led to the next great gold rush in the Yukon. Many would venture into the rugged north, expecting to find riches in the Klondike. Those who did would find it difficult to get back out again alive. And they also do the Iditarod there, which is a dog sled, and they do this huge 1,150-mile race from Anchorage to Nome every year. That's pretty cool to watch, from what I understand. My mother lived in Alaska, and she always tells me stories of how sometimes it was daylight all day long, or times of the year where it was dark all day long, which I think if it were dark all day long, I probably wouldn't mind it. I'm a nighttime person. But that's not good for people that have depression, to be in the dark all night long, all day long, But yeah, interesting. Very interesting. What else is going on here there's a Glacier Bay, where glimpses of icy blue you'll see nowhere else on Earth. You can listen for the rugged mountains of ice collapsing into the bay and seek the humpback whales breaking the surface. They have these cruises that go around Alaska. Now that I might enjoy. I should look into that. I'm not getting any younger. I need to go do stuff, right? Who wants to go with me on an Alaskan cruise? Oh my God, I think that would be so cool. Cheryl's organizing next year a cruise, a diamond painting or a crafting cruise. Maybe I could talk her into going to Alaska. I don't know. I can imagine that the airfare probably wouldn't be very cheap. I don't know. Anywho, we can talk about. Let's give them something to talk about. Did y'all see Pearl? She was right there. I can't get my finger there. Right. She was right there. Oh my goodness. Which I think would be a good time for cat capers. Let's take a look. So what'd you think? I got a smart cat, don't I? Stitch loves to play with the iPad, so anytime now he sees me sitting there on the iPad, he jumps into my lap. He wants to play his little game. It's too cute. But as you can see, there's so much going on in the morning. He's got to be part of the, playing with Pearl, playing with Tootsie. So they're quite active around the house during the day. They'll go at each other, 100 miles an hour for, hour and a half to 2 hours, and then they just crash in their cat tree. It's so cute. They both, it has two beds at the top, this cat tree that I bought, and they'll both curl into one of the beds and sleep together. Now, I suspect soon enough they won't be big enough they'll be too big to do that. They'll each have to take a bed. But they love that cat tree, and it did allow me to get the dog food up off the floor, or the cat food up off the floor, so that the dog would not eat it. Yeah, so, because Tootsie has decided she likes cat food. And the cats have decided they like dog food. It's a constant struggle. Anyway, let's take a look at Judge, Jury, and Journey. So I finished listening. Well, let me backtrack. This is the murder of the FSU law professor Dan Markel. Now, the prosecution's theory is that the Adelson family, his wife, Wendy Adelson, his ex-wife, is from a very prominent family in South Florida. Millionaires, we find out during some of the testimony, that they're very well off. And it's believed that they hired the two men through Catherine Magbanua, who is one of the defendants, that as using her as an intermediary to hire these two men that committed the murder. So you might recall that one of the two men was already in jail at the time of the arrest, when all these three people were arrested. So he was in jail for racketeering, which is it's an organized, racketeering is like when it's organized crime basically, and he was the leader of the Latin Kings, so he was in this organized crime gang. So he was serving a 19-year sentence for that, so they tacked on another 7 years he was serving a 12-year sentence, and then he got a 19 years for turning state's evidence and pleading guilty to second-degree murder of Dan Markel, which effectively gave him 7 more years added to the 12. And with good behavior, he could be out in record time, so to speak. Are there any more of these? Yes, there are a couple. So, all right. So that's kind of a recap. So the two defendants are the shooter, Sergio Garcia, who went with Luis Rivera to Tallahassee to commit the murder, and Catherine Magbanua, the intermediary between the family and the shooters. So I finished listening to all of the wiretap. The FBI tapped the phones of Charlie Edison and Catherine Magbanua, and there was a lot of conversations that to me did not make sense, and I think I mentioned this the other day, and it came into focus why they didn't make sense, because we were just getting snippets. What these people were also using WhatsApp. It's an application where you can talk to your friends, and I also learned, and here's a good tidbit for you guys, if you're using that application, WhatsApp or Facebook Messenger, to communicate with somebody, those are not kept. Like, when they had Charlie Adelson's iCloud, everything on his cloud, those things don't show up. Anything that you've communicated on WhatsApp or Facebook Messenger don't show up. So that we don't know what was said back and forth on WhatsApp or on Facebook Messenger. Um, and I believe, based on the cross-examination of the detectives, that um, these people were using WhatsApp and Facebook Messenger. So, which is why these conversations that they were having on the phone didn't really make sense. Um, because you just couldn't put it all into context. And I'm sure the jury was probably quite confused by all of it. Nonetheless, what you could tell through all of the phone conversations is that um, Charlie Adelson and Catherine Magbana were clearly very, very concerned about this piece of paper that it had been handed off by an undercover agent to Charlie Adelson's mother, um, trying to extort $5,000 from them, to get them to take care of Luis Rivera's family. Um, so the $5,000 was never paid, and there was very few phone calls made to ultimately to the phone number that was on that piece of paper, which is neither here nor there. So we could tell from the phone calls their demeanor, what it was by receiving this information. They were very concerned about it. But I didn't hear a lot of talk about the murder or hiring these people, or, I even suspect that they maybe knew that the phone calls were being monitored. So, so the prosecution rests their case. So now it's time for the two defendants to put on their case. They both moved for judgments of acquittal. Now, a judgment of acquittal means that what it means is that the attorney is saying the state did not prove their case against my client, which is kind of laughable in the case of Sergio Garcia. I think they put on enough evidence to support that he was the murderer, that he was the shooter in this case, that being the testimony of the co-defendant, Luis Rivera. And then, so that was denied by the judge, motion denied. Then Catherine Magbana's lawyer got up and made their case, same thing, that state didn't prove their case against their client, Catherine Magbana. Now, I even thought maybe this might be granted, because I don't think they've made a very strong case against her. I mean, really all they have is the testimony of Luis Rivera. Absent that, and a lot of other circumstantial stuff, like the cash deposits into her account, and the surgery that clearly wasn't paid for by her, Charlie Adelson taking care of her, paying for all these things. But the judge denied the motion. I really thought if anybody had a chance of getting a judgment of acquittal, it would be Catherine. So, but no, the judge said no. So now the judge says, all right, Garcia's attorney is going to do his case first, and then Magbana will do her case. So the defense attorney for Garcia puts on the police officer that wrote Luis Rivera got a ticket on his way up to Tallahassee on the first trip, I think. Yeah, on the first trip. And this defense attorney's theory all along has been that Sergio Garcia was not in the vehicle with him during that trip. And he brings the state trooper that wrote the ticket, puts him on the stand, and apparently somewhere in the report is a indication of whether there were passengers or not, and he wrote no. But the trooper explained that if he doesn't put anything in there, it defaults to no. So there's no evidence that there was a passenger in this vehicle with Luis Rivera, which is interesting. I don't think that gets Sergio off. I think it goes to the credibility of Luis Rivera, because he's saying he took that first trip with Sergio, that it was Sergio's idea. Sergio was telling me how to get to Tallahassee. Um, yeah, so I don't know. What I think happened, no, I can't even speculate what happened. I don't know. I don't know. And, the other testimony of Luis Rivera was that we were doing cocaine and we were drinking, and this officer said there was no evidence that they were doing cocaine or drinking, or he would have recorded that and probably arrested them. So I thought that was interesting. I don't know what to make of it, quite frankly. And then who did he put on? He put on another witness, but I just didn't understand the purpose of this other witness. It was the FBI agent that did the call analysis, and yeah, I didn't understand that testimony. Let me see if I made any notes on that. He was a computer forensic analyst. Oh, okay. All right. I see what the purpose was. So he testified that when you have these iPhones and other phones as well, they are set to automatically back up all of the information on the phone to the iCloud once a day. So I think you can set it up to do it more frequently, but I think the default is once a day. So if you send a text message to someone and then delete it before it's backed up to the cloud, it doesn't appear in the cloud. So you'll never see that text message. So what they figured out is out of that there was a total of 3,084 text messages on Charlie Adelson's phone, but only 1,800 of those messengers were they able to see in the cloud because the rest weren't there. And the speculation is that he must have deleted them. But there was another explanation. This guy gave it on cross. He explained that when you get notifications, those appear as text messages, but they're not reflected in the cloud. So out of those 3,084, many of those could have been notifications. So I thought that was really interesting testimony. So we don't know if things were deleted or not off the phone. So that defendant, Sergio Garcia, he opted not to take the stand in his own defense. He is not going to testify, and so his attorney rested their case. Then now the case turns to the other defendant, which is Catherine Magbanua. Now, the first witness that they put on the stand is an investigator with the state attorney's office, who was he went for a ride along. There was once they had Luis Rivera's turning state's evidence, they put him in a van, and they said help us find the murder weapon. And he's like, and it's in a place near a large body of water and two bridges, and I couldn't really tell you where. I don't really remember. So they literally drove all over the state of Florida looking for two bridges and a large body of water to see if any of this might have the weapon in it. And some of the places were searched and some were not, but they never found the weapon. So he puts on this investigator, and the testimony has been that they really literally drove around 4 hours with this guy. And so he said, during all this lengthy car ride, did Luis Rivera ever mention Catherine Magbanua? Nope, never talked about her. That was interesting. And that is where I left off. I think the next thing that's going to happen is Catherine Magbanua is going to take the stand in her own defense. In fact, I know she does because I've seen the upcoming videos. So, and that's a couple of hours worth of testimony. So that'll be what I bring to you tomorrow. We're going to hear her testimony, and then we'll get closing arguments, and we'll wrap this case up, and we'll find out who's guilty and who's not. Or maybe they're both guilty, or maybe they're both innocent. I don't know. What color do I need here? I don't know. I think the Motrin's kicking in. Thank goodness. Because I got to work this morning. I also need to do my Walmart grocery list. I just don't feel like going in the store and doing groceries. I just would rather have them I'd rather go pick them up or get them delivered. I don't know which one. And it really looks like we're in for a stormy day here. Okay. I actually, let's see. There's a couple more colors here. Let's see. Let's see if we can find the colors. Okay, this color here. Yep. Alright. I need a light tray for this color. Stitch, what you doing? Stitch, come here, buddy. He knows his name. Hi, buddy. Come here and say hello to everybody. This is my little buddy, Stitch. Hi, sweetie. Say, nope, I want to go play. I want to go play. Bye. Oh, silly cat. Okay, yes. She's so jealous. She's like, oh, you got to pet me too. She's going to go play. She's going to drive him out of the craft room first. Come here, baby. What's wrong with you? You silly dog. You silly dog. Okay. This day in history. Okay. Hey, if you missed yesterday's live, check it out. I had my good friend Brian on, and he caught me up on everything. Brian is a very interesting person. He does crocheting, loom knitting. He and I last year did a punch needle along where we all tried to do punch needle, not very successfully, I might add. Diamond painting. So you never know what he's up to. You know, same as me. So we checked in with him, caught up with him, and then Tia stopped by. Tia's Crazy Craft Addictions. She stopped by on her way home from the retreat. So check out that video. I'll put a link to it up here, where you see the Halloween painting over there. I'm terrible with the directions today. Up there. And also, do not forget, I will also put a link to my giveaway video. This Wednesday, I'm doing a giveaway. Make sure you're in it. There is yarn, but there's also a $25 gift card for Treasure Studios Arts. And it's not going to be an actual card. I'll just give you a code that you can use to check out at Treasure Studios Art. Yes, $25. And the yarn. If you don't want the yarn, you don't have the yarn. You just want the gift card. That's fine. If you want the yarn, if you want the gift card, not the yarn, or if you want the what am I saying? If you want the yarn and you don't want the gift card, it's fine. For those of you out there who don't diamond paint, and if you happen to win, you can use that gift card. She has all kinds of other stuff in the store on Treasure Studios Art website. Lots of beautiful washi tape. Different crafts, you know. So anyway, check out that video. Make sure you're entered. You can't win if you don't enter. You must be subscribed to the channel. But anyway, watch the video. Watch the video. What are you doing, Stitch? Hi, baby. Come here. Say, nope, I'm exploring. I'm not talking to you. No, I know you're my baby too. Say, I was the baby before. Now I'm a big girl. Yeah. Okay, go lay down. She's so jealous. My goodness. Silly dogs. You got nothing to be jealous of. Okay. Oh, there's a thing on the end of that. Okay. What did I say we're gonna do? Oh, this day in history. Okay. We're gonna go a little bit of a different direction today, if I can find it. Yeah, here. We're gonna talk about Mike Tyson. So, that guy is a train wreck. Yeah. So June 28th, 1997, he bites the ear off of, well, not the whole ear, but a chunk of Evander Holyfield's ear. He bites it off during a boxing match. Oh my God. Yeah. So, Tyson, he was just a wreck. He started out on a real hot streak. Um, he beat he was the youngest heavyweight champion in history, and at just 19 years old. But after that, he married and divorced Robin Givens, who accused him of domestic violence, which I totally believe, because he was a mess. He fired and sued his manager. He broke his hand in an early morning street brawl. He got into two car accidents. One, they believe he was trying to commit suicide. And he fired his trainer and hired Don King, a promoter. Yeah. So he lost to the heavyweight title to a 42-1 underdog. And then he just kind of spiraled out of control after that. He was accused of rape by a woman named Desiree Washington. She was a contestant in a beauty pageant where he was the judge. Now, why was he judging a beauty pageant? I don't know. That's kind of weird. So he was convicted of that and served 3.5 years in prison for that. But then he comes out and he wants to get his title back. So they set up this huge fight with Evander Holyfield. Now, Evander Holyfield had retired, but he decides that, this is a $40 million purse. He decides he's going to come out of retirement. And he trains like crazy for this fight. And he goes into the ring, and Tyson is clearly losing the fight to Evander Holyfield when Tyson just becomes enraged and bites his ear, bites a chunk of his ear off. And then, so they stop the fight. They try to stop the bleeding. They bandage it up. They go back out into the ring to start fighting again. And Tyson bites his other ear. And so they stop the fight at this point. He gets disqualified. I don't know if Holyfield got the 40 million. I don't know, but disgusting. So what eventually happened to this guy? Well, it says, events in Tyson's life took repeated turns for the worse in the aftermath of that fight, and culminated in his declaring bankruptcy, in part due to, now listen to this one, he was paying $400,000 a year. He was spending $400,000 a year on his pet pigeons. Pet pigeons. Can you believe it? Oh my word. And he was arrested for possession of cocaine. So this guy was just a hot mess. Anyway, that is this day in history. I don't usually go to sports, but I thought I'd change it up a bit. I don't like watching boxing. Maybe it's for that reason. I would, if I had a choice, to watch boxing or MMA, I'd probably choose MMA. Now, because I think MMA has a little bit more, I don't know if I want to say structure, but I think there's a lot more technique that goes into an MMA fighter versus a boxer. Actually, I prefer to watch none of it. My son called me the other day and he's like, "Are you going to the MMA fights in it's the state championship in downtown Wichita?" And I'm like, no. He's like, but Mom, you don't want to miss it. I'm like, no, I'll pass. Thank you. Nope, not going. I'm sure he did because he loves that stuff. Loves it. He's like, this is a really cool fight, Mom. No, thank you. Nope. Yeah. Anyhow, I gotta go to work. That is the show for today. Thank you all for stopping by and giving me your time on a Monday. Listen, I haven't talked about it in a while, but you can become a member of my channel. If you go to my channel page, there's a join button, or in the link, there's a link down in the description for both my Patreon and and a membership. You could do one or the other or both. What that does is you donate money to my channel to support the content of what I bring to you on the channel. Diamond paintings, yarn projects, what's she scratching? Anyway, I would love to have you as a member or as a Patreon. So, thanks, and